If you are watching this video, you are likely familiar with the fact that you kind of have to bleed your mountain bike brakes every once in a while in order for them to keep performing as good as they should. And you are likely familiar with that procedure for your bike's respective brakes as well. This video in particular is about our favorite tips and tricks to get the most performance out of your SRAM Maven brakes. And while we are going to be performing these tips and tricks on the SRAM Mavens, these will likely apply to whatever mountain bike brake you have on your bike. Stay tuned. Here's what you'll need to get started. Clean workspace, rags, gloves, glasses, isopropyl alcohol, SRAM mineral oil bleed kit, Maxima mineral oil, Maven bleed block, Maven pad spacer, piston massage tool or 2 old rotors equaling 4 millimeters in width, 5 millimeter and 2.5 millimeter hex, and a T25 and a T10 Torx. Tip number 1, brake lever adjustment. Move and adjust the brake lever so it's close to parallel with the ground. We want the bleed port to be the highest point in the system. Wind the contact point dial opposite of the arrow all the way out. Wind the lever adjustment knob so it is around 80 millimeters from the bar end, or a few clicks from all the way out. Tip number 2, remove brake pads and caliper from the bike. Remove the caliper from the bike for better accessibility. Remove the brake pads and place them far away to avoid any possible contamination. Tip number 3, piston massage. We need to make sure pistons are moving as freely as possible with the piston massage. To do this, insert 2 old brake rotors or a spacer that is 4 millimeters in width into the caliper and pump the lever until the pistons hit the farthest possible point at the 2 brake rotors. Squeeze the lever hard at this point to lube the piston seals internally and release any stuck air. Push the pistons back carefully with a tire lever. Repeat this process a few times. This is a good tip for any brake, but especially important on these Mavens because the pistons are so large. Here's another great tip. Next time you're out for a ride, bring some LMNT with you. These guys have been a sponsor of the channel for a while now, and that really stokes us out because it is an electrolyte supplement that we actually like to use. It's got stuff like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that replenishes the elements in your body when you sweat. So check it out. Go to the link in the description below. That is drinklmnt.com/worldwide cyclery. Use the link to place an order and get yourself a free sample pack. Flavors like grapefruit salt, watermelon salt, mango chili, citrus salt, bunch of tasty salty flavors. Check it out. Hit the link. You know what to do. Back to the action. Tip number 4, vacuum bleed. When bleeding the brake, put an emphasis on vacuuming air out of the caliper and lever with the syringes. With the caliper syringe under a vacuum, move the caliper into different orientations to help release trapped air. We want the caliper to be at the highest point in the system for the best results. At the brake lever, flick the lever a few times when bleeding and vacuum air out from the lever. Do this until no more air is present and the system is fully bled. Tip number 5, align caliper and rotor. After the bleed is complete, insert the brake pads and align the caliper so that the rotor is centered in the caliper. Make sure the brake pads are hitting the rotor evenly and square. This will get you the best possible lever feel. Tip number 6, attach a rubber band. Attach a rubber band to the handlebar and brake lever for a few hours or overnight. This pressurizes the system and any lingering air will be compressed and moved into the master cylinder. So that just about does it for our tips and tricks on bleeding SRAM Maven brakes, but surely you guys have some tips and tricks up your sleeve that we haven't heard of yet. So please let us know in the comments below your top tips and tricks for bleeding brakes. Wow, that's a lot of tongue twisters. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, share it with a friend who might also need to bleed their brakes, and maybe we'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.